see how I can keep this on track and make it say what I want it to say and not what my emotions drag it into, you know. We uh we live in a strange time, you know. And I'm getting stuff off my chest again. But I need to make sure my purpose goes to the right purpose, you know. Our stories, our lives. If this video cuts, I'm gonna regain it and then I'll download it all and I'll make a series out of it. Well, not a series, but I'll make a live out of it, like I've been doing on our channels. You know, the purpose of what I do is to grow and be a better person for me. I don't care about you. I do, but I don't. I don't want to get involved in your life. You can have your life. Your life is drama. Mine was. Mine still is in a lot of ways. We take different paths of life, you know, like water coming down from a mountain. But the sad thing is, original water has to cut a path. Water will travel a path of least resistance and create a river, which leads to an ocean. You know, there's a lot of things on earth, symbology, like the Grand Canyon. They say that's water that cut millions of years, and that's a lie. That's a plasma arc, the equivalent of a lightning strike, if you've ever seen it. Even on skin, human skin, it does, it reaches out and it finds its end, and it makes a path of destruction. Okay? Mount St. Helens erupted. 1/3 of the side of the mountain fell into a valley, which totally evacuated the water of a lake. And the lake exited so fast, it created the same levels of strata that archaeologists call millions of years. And it was actually an instant. Okay? And that's in our lifetime, in the 80s. I don't know, 80s or 90s. But I'm going to get to the point here, right about now. You have a life. You live it. You come into a world where you have a predefined truth, you have a predefined diet, a predefined identity, most of the time a predefined path in life, and a religion. Your whole life matriculates through the cut path of others. And most of you just find your way and flow with that path, like rivers do. And that's not how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to have our own independent life. And if you want to get into spiritual values, it's very hard not to focus on a singular creator, a God. And it's very hard not to bring credibility to a creation story. It's just all the stuff in the way that clouds the reality of exactly what happened until now. The long and short of the story is, instead of turning all the pages at one time, slowly reading, absorbing, line by line, precept by precept, I'll give you a narrative. Your life has been given to you repetitively without you regretting it, generation after generation, you acclimate to a path of least resistance. You follow the other sheep in front of you, and you find some reason, you find some purpose, and you justify it at whatever level of your complex relation to such said carriage of nuts and bolts and flesh and pain and lies that life is. And I said that life is like this here peanut butter. This is peanut butter. Most people will just look at peanut butter. But do you take and look at all the ingredients? You know what the hell's in it? You don't. So before you jump into a fight, a finger-pointing contest, and try to justify what you do, how you do it, why you do it, why your family's forefathers did it, get to the bottom of the matter. The fact is, we were all designed, and if you go through all the research, ecumenical, theological, scientific, if you try to quantize the purpose and reasoning for a human, you get this basic construct. We're born with a genetic plan, a manifest destiny. And we're on loan from the universe, the creator. Our parents have the right to take care of us, love us, feed us, protect us, and let us go when we turn a mature age. That's it. And you treat people with respect, and you try to be an example. Be self-sufficient, and don't be a burden on society. Charity should not exist. We should all take care of each other inherently, take care of ourselves, and not leave a path of destruction called civilization. A civil realization of a disconnected purpose. Okay, you're born. All right? In most spiritual relationships with indoctrination, the woman lays and the man creates the baby. And the baby comes out, be it a boy or a girl, defines its privilege in said order of construct. Well, it's a repetitive, simple class system, and in most cases, the human is applauded for having a certification, birth certificate, a marriage license, following the rules and everything that they're privileged to participate in. Wow. Well, some of us are born broken. I was. Now I'll get into some short scenarios of life from my perspective. Born, my father was a motorcycle riding guy, not a biker, but a guy that could throw a ball and probably break your hand. He was known for throwing the ball. Ride a motorcycle in the country, kind of like a 1950s kind of guy, right on the beach, with the leather jacket type thing. In Greece, conquered a lady, a girl, high school, quite desirable. Not saying that she was a experienced girl in high school, being desired by many, but broken by one, my father. Well, between, hey baby, how you doing, and my mother made a commitment to accept such person, and they ended up pregnant and married I don't know about the pregnant first or the married first, but it doesn't matter. I'm the byproduct of that union. My mother was different, like me, different. My mother could connect to animals better than people. Well, considering what she had to deal with, my mother's father was a serial go screw somebody's daughter, wife along the river. That's what my grandfather was. He was the best man you want to meet. Kept the same job all his life. Hard-working man. His dick went to work a lot. He made my grandmother crazy. Put her in a shock clinic. Shocked the shit out of her in the 70s because she found out he was a cheater. And my mother and me lived across the street from this edifice of greatness, James Malloy. And my mother found herself dealing with the situation. Me, child, that's a situation, especially me. Put me in a bed, I'll take the bed apart with a spoon. I'm going to find you, mother. You have to put me riding on the horse. I hold on to the mane like this. No saddle. Couldn't even walk. But nature and a mother had a life. Till a buckler, who became my stepfather in the future, a buckler that worked for my dad, saw my dad pushing in the secretary on the job. So the buckler ran to my mother and just missed. Your husband pushing the arm. So my mother left. And my father, who was the cheater, the pipe layer, instigated by the gay guy, Curtis Delahousie, it created a situation. Me and my mother lived in a motel for quite a while. And my father took advantage of that. He told the world that my mother was a whore, which she ended up being a prostitute to take care of me and my mother at the motel. She's 17, 18, 19 years old. Beautiful. And ironically, I remember every moment of it. You know, I get out of bed, my mother's fucking someone, go back in the bed. I got to be friends with the police, the milkman, all kinds of people. They brought me snacks. I mean, you treat the prostitute's son good. Well, all of these men, all of these people had a heart. And they ended up almost like a family. And my mother didn't really have a lot of dick flying in her after a while, you know, because it kind of leveled off. It got to a point, though, where the motel owner and this and that, it was getting crunch time, you know. All I can say is, one night, I hear, and it's a screen door, and when you knock on it, it knocks twice. I saw something shiny. It was a policeman. My dad crying behind him. My life changed radically from the sublime life cohabitating in a motel. The pool didn't have no water. Me and my mother, which was a good relation, even if she was a prostitute. It turned into me being with my dad, and my life went from 0 to 60 in no time. I saw people I hadn't seen in my life. I saw people I don't remember. I was the son of the prostitute, and my dad saved me. And he was probably one of the first men to get custody of their child. The story was good. He worked hard. We made money guarding oil rigs, making serious money. Had to pay an investigator. It was a serious ordeal for my dad, because he had to take his guilt and put it on my mother. So it started to create a shadow that I lived under his dick, the shadow of his dick. Trying to get attention, never understanding. I gained a stepmother who was my mother's friend in school, and the gay guy, the bakla, married my mother after a period of time. Like an honor type thing. Well, my dad, as you can imagine, he married this second woman. Me and my dad got married. That's how I announced it. And boy, it was a hell of a time that I can remember. The stepmother became my mother because my mother, at the moment, she basically gave up on trying to be a mother, and she gave us to whoever. I was around her a lot. She didn't talk a lot. She was to herself. We had a friendship, but not a relationship, like a father and a daughter. A son and a mother, I mean. And it just wasn't natural from that point. I lived my whole life trying to get attention in church. Good stepmother. 4 brothers, younger than me. Now I'm the black sheep. Okay. My mother died alone, choked on her own spit, pneumonia, suffocated on her couch, dead in her own mucus vomit. She was a good woman, though. She had her own friends, she had her own life. She made 2 other kids, 2 daughters. One's my cousin and the other one's my dead sister, a drug addict, who I'm glad is dead. The bitch is dead. The grandfather, my mother's dad, he put my grandmother in a nursing home because she couldn't fuck anymore. And he proceeded to shack up with a popular music artist mother here, Jean, the mother of a guy, Wayne Toops. And I was in and out of the family. I had done some things to my grandfather as, revenge that kind of hurt him. And I'm glad. It should have killed him. But I became the black sheep of the whole fucking family. But the whole family was naughty, And I'm just looking for a life. I got married. Long time. Fighting for a peaceful relation. And I enabled that woman. Had 2 kids. I just kind of speeded up. I'm here now. Finding myself basically outed by my family. The shadow of my father's dick is small in his little garden. I'm not under it anymore. Fuck that family. That's my way of dealing with it. I love them, but fuck them. I can't face them, because if I face them, I'm going to hurt them. They have the nerve, because the sin of my father was never addressed. The sin of my father got pushed down on me by the nature of my relationship with them. Well, in my special world, I produced a lot of strange things. Integrating technologies, and I made a way for myself in my own way. I made a name for myself in my own way. And here I am in my own fucking way, explaining my next phase of life. Having online relationships, making an ass of myself, proving the knowledge and the ability to communicate, 2016 in the Filipino community, reaching millions, availing shit nothing, but the carcass of a life, swollen at best, thriving to be myself. And I've picked up some real interesting realities along the way that have really filled in the gap to a purpose-driven life. Even a reincarnated place life, like a genetic anomaly here. This is the time you do your shit, boy. And I'm going to hold on to that. Ironically, it leads to a affinity with the Philippines, bloodlines, knowledge, prophecies that are passed down by shamans, not by fucking religions, real lives of generations. And have to make peace with the fact that speaking to my father today, I will never talk to them again. I don't want to hate anyone, but this is my time to hate. This is my time to want to kill in my thoughts, because all of these self-righteous pieces of shit known as my family, they go to church, they have nice lives. I've learned not to look like that. I've learned not to be fake. And I'm seeking my comfort zone. I'm seeking me. The effective me that don't give a shit about what you say. What really counts is what I do and what I say. What's my purpose? What's the grand scheme of things? I'm not trying to blame anyone for anything. I'm not trying to argue and fight with a new girlfriend like I'm doing now. Because she don't have no damn common sense. She's the most wonderful person I've ever met. And I probably will be with her the rest of my life. But she better wake the fuck up. You don't just experience one thing and then interject something so heinous and evil as an accusation that causes a division. We really should think about the backyard we come from. My backyard all my life was drama from other people. Being treated special by other dicks. Kind of going through the same shit President Duterte went through. Rape. I'm dealing with reality right now. I'm watching the Philippines sarcastically support the current sitting banana eater and judge the past strongman and flirtatiously mess around with supporting the daughter. Their tartar daughter, whatever y'all say. You got your little words. You're so screwed up, people. DDS, BBM. Oh, man. You know what really all of you should be thinking about? Your damn self. Like I'm doing right now. I don't want to go down a road I've been down before. I don't want any similarities to anything in the past, because my past has been kind of fucked up. I've had some good results, though. 2016, President Duterte. And if you haven't figured it out by now, Putin's not a bad guy and Jinping's not a bad guy. Who creates all the problems anyway? The oligarchy. Who lies the most? The biased media. You know that biased media that said that the Philippine Coast Guard saved some fishermen and they had a confrontation with the Chinese? Well, I saw the goddamn real story. The Chinese Coast Guard was there and saved Philippine fishermen, and the Philippine Coast Guard thanked the Chinese Coast Guard. But the news story turned it all around and made China the enemy. If you people haven't figured it out, you have been emboldened to be part of the damage that starts the war. See, there's got to be some damage. There has to be some casualties before an all-out Western alliance drives right through the Philippines' ass into China. With China basically beating the shit out of the Philippines and the U.S. Now, where did the trouble start? Who was the father of this trouble? It wasn't my father's dick. But my father's dick caused some trouble, and he never wanted to fucking accommodate any values to basically pay for, morally, my damage, my mother's death, or cheating on my stepmother. Now the whole family isolates me as the bad guy, which I'm radical. I am a bad guy in the situation because I'm trying to bring peace to myself. I don't give a damn about them. At the end of the day, I don't care about them. I don't care what they say, what they do. My mother's dead. My life is here. And I'm 60 years old. And I'll be goddamn if I'm going down as an ember in somebody else's fire. I'm going to go down with my own blaze. But I'm going to go up and out. It's time we change. It's time we stop allowing the current narrative, the death mentality. It's time we break that bullshit. It's time we stop our limited spirituality and stop looking down each doctrine with fucking binoculars that you can't even see that it was constructed to keep you from looking at yourself. My whole life, I've dealt with other people's problems. I posted pictures from my ex, Hepzibah Deegan, the little bitch, the little Filipina, a beautiful person, who I was destroying myself trying to save a relationship with her. The motherfucker got married while I was kind of on a hiatus with her. It's her prerogative. But the thing is how she dealt with it, the damn woman. I called her to try to mend fences with her. And she's in a motel in Davao. She tells me she went to a convention for pesticides. Oh, I can show you. I got a certificate. Well, whatever. I'm rekindling a relationship with her. I'm talking to her. She's beautiful. And it proceeds to the next morning, waiting for breakfast, going on a bus, going back from Davao to Kiripawan. Which in turn she was going to go to Carmen to her corn fields on the mountain. This dirty little bitch lied about why she was in Davao. Just having intercepted a passport with her birth name, Deegan, when she actually married a man named Elma Cisa, and she never had the marriage annulled. She never took her fucking birth name off her ID. She snuck right past that. She's a cunning little shit. She got a passport in Deegan. She never got rid of the first husband. Now she's seeking a relationship, I thought, with me. And she has a tattoo with a J and a H. Well, unbeknownst to me, the man she really loved came in 2019. And he went back home. And he couldn't come back because of COVID. So, in between him not coming back and me finding her, she helps me to break the curse of my first ex, Lucy Ling and I. The one that put the ta-ta-ta-ta-ta in puñeta. Here we are, bonding. She's helping me to realign myself and focus on a good farm girl, Hepzibah Deegan, with 2 beautiful children. Wah, wah, wah. Something about me knows the truth. So I fought for the truth. That tattoo didn't tell me shit. I come across the picture of her, him, and the 2 kids from the past. She says, oh, don't worry about him. He came and he's never come back. Of course he never come back because it was COVID-19 and he's a hard-working man. He's a good man, people. Hepzibah Deegan's a good person too. But she's a lying little bitch. And it's not good. The truth sets you free, especially people like me. But I have to find my own truth in the drama of my life. And I have to settle the chapters of my life, my damn self. That's what I'm doing now. She proceeds to lead me to set the stage for me to give her money for her corn. It's amazing you always have to have subsidies to fucking plant the corn, right? Well, anyway, I go to her daughter's timeline and I find 300 and something photos of her wedding to this guy. So I download all of the kisses, you may kiss the bride. I sent it to her. Her first reaction, as guilty as she is, where'd you get that? On your daughter's timeline. Now, she quickly makes her daughter delete it. And she tries to maintain the lie, because I have established that I'm an idiot the whole time. Because she was able to be with me and be with him too. So, that's how shallow-minded we are in our ethics of our interrelational commitments and shit. So you think you're doing something with a religion or a church or a doctrine or Allah or a Jesus or whatever, you better think again. Because in the short tale of your life, your forefathers fought an armada of dress-wearing men that killed you if you didn't worship the God they told you to worship. Huh? Stealing, killing, destroying, creating fear in the huddled masses. You have fear for an external God when it's all internal. Your divine nature is here, not over there, over there, over there. My salvation was not in Hepzibah Deegan or Lucy Linganai or Lizzle Martin, my current, that I love to death. And I'm going to love her, and I'm going to hopefully be with her, because she's awesome. But she's a little shit. She's just like me. She's protecting herself not to get hurt. But the world I live in tells me the only thing that'll save this world is good examples. Living epistles read of men. Ironically, the papal bullshit, the Bible, gives you some nuggets. The people who created the world you live in, the money you're enslaved by, the history you live, the lies you live, the spiritual religions that you serve that lead to nothing, they totally led you away from the divine relationship you have naturally with yourself. That divine nature that we all have balances the whole world naturally when we take the scales from our eyes and we open our minds and we reason together. What's the reason? Well, it's not to wait for that Savior that wrote that. There's no Savior coming to save you. There's no hell for you. Even your Bible says there's a great gulf fixed between hell and you. So you need to wake up to the lies and balance the truth gingerly. And try not to be a carnivore and eat the people who cause pain in your life, like I try to do. I don't care to talk to anybody in my family. I don't give a shit. I care about myself. Because this whole fucking family doesn't give a shit about the sin of my father, which killed my mother, which took me from a family, which denied me any clarity my whole fucking life. But it set the stage for me to be mentally ready to handle being an example. Isn't it magically wonderful how life can turn around and work with you instead of turning you around and fucking you in your ass? If we all just come together and we did the right thing, if we all just stopped, ceased and desisted all the shit, like Taraku, you piece of shit, celebrating the imprisonment of President Duterte because you think he's evil? You're evil, sir. All of you that support blindly the little Napoleon, bong bong. I don't see how your crazy nature even allows you to coexist in a club. You guys are going to do, you're going to do each other's drugs, you're going to screw each other's wife, you're going to be visibly a leper by the time a public display of your results can be made. There's no choir that can sing a song for the Philippines right now that will lead the way. There's no legal system that can come in and clean everything up except the total annihilation of a strong man that introduced rule of law and uniformity called public service. The Philippines was an experience for me. I watched a man finesse his way through being judged around the world, most of his followers are a traitor. You know why I say that? Because you elected him. You didn't place him there like a dictator. You didn't say, here's the gun, take care of it, everything. You know, God's on your side, Duterte. You the man, we're going to go back home. You knowingly elected him, and you did not elect to change yourself. Because you should have matured. You should have became more like rule of law, federalist. But you didn't. You went back to your lazy-ass life. Party. San Miguel, white beaches, let's do what we got to do. And you did like this a lot. And you let me and people like me and Duterte carry the brunt of the fucking weight, exposing the evil, while you just ended up hiding. And I don't care what you say. The proof is in everything you see right now. Huh? Everything from your support of Bong Bong blindly, because you did it in the beginning not knowing he was an unaligned foe, a happy little puppet of the Western powers. He gave you a lapdog nation again. And it's worse than ever. There's nothing that can come to the table or to the scene that we know as current affairs for the Philippines right now. There's nothing that can come and right the wrongs that you have allowed as a nation. President Duterte should have insulted the shit out of you as a nation and said, you know, you elected me, now you want God to be the one to help me? By the people, for the people. That means constitutional type representation. That means you should have stood up and enforced peacefully. You should have said no. You should have said no to the powers that slowly matriculated into becoming Pacquiao and other people. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. That brain dead son of a bitch. Everybody come stand by President Duterte to, you know. And now, he's barely moving, you know. But he's still strong. He's got his truth to his own truth. The closest thing to a military that the president has politically is Amy, Sarah, and himself. Everybody else has turned coat and ran. Or they're mechanized going against him now. Harry, exactly what the fuck is wrong with you, buddy? I don't care. I don't care what people say. I don't care what people do. I do know one thing. There's a force multiplier coming for you. It's called karma. A forced multiplier. I hope that your karma in your lazy life, I hope your karma tears you up. I hope you suffer in the worst of ways if you cannot stand up and resist your complacency. You're about to have to wear a mask again, people. And you're going to do it. And you're going to do this because you follow directions like a dog. A beat dog. You don't really care to be the reason. You don't really care to be the example. You don't really care to be a divine, purpose-driven person with an immortal attitude. Your death mentality is going to take you right where you know you're going, dead. But on the other side, you're with the Creator. What a reward for a lazy bunch of excuses. You know, the thing that hurts me the most about every experience I've had that could have been healed or manicured or mended, it required participation. Like in my father's case, a few years ago, he was confronted with this truth that I knew, and he agreed. He said, yeah. Then I hit him again with it last year. Sent him to the hospital. Him and my mother, I cursed him. Because I don't give a shit. I have a life. Me, I have a life too. I get judged for being a black sheep. I get judged for being a liar. I get judged for being a troublemaker. But it's ironic. The truth I speak, the life I live, and the pain I suffer, it's categorically because I'm not fake. I don't lie. And I'm not a goddamn coward. I know the value of confronting something. If you deal with it and you start a communication, I could be speaking to my whole family now as an uncle, as the eldest. Me and my daughter and my son could be treated normal eventually, and we could heal all in a positive frame of mind because my father's dick sinned when I was a child. And he kept sinning. My father kept hiding his shit. He should have been in the prison 5 or 6 times for stealing oil field. But no. One situation, I suffered legally because my father and my best friend's father, they couldn't come together and see the truth of how I was being used. So, hello? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah? It was great. It was Tony the Tiger. Great. It was great. Really good. It was the best home cooked that, very good. Huh? Yeah. It was the only home cooked I had all week. Boy. Yes, indeed. So, where you at? You here or what? Okay. Well, I'm not oiled up, smelling. I might pass my head and say hi and take off. I'm gonna go walk. I got kind of offended. I offended my damn self with that because I love that stuff. It's got a natural smell. But when you're not ready for it, it'll make you vomit. It's a musky, Anyway, okay. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Uh-huh. Uh. Well, yeah, okay. Well, I'll be heading out that way in a minute. Okay? Okay, bye. You really have to be quiet and still to pay attention to see the real friends in your life. I could be living a life right now where healing is taking place and peace. My family could be talking to me. We could be living in peace, respecting my father, because it's in the past. But it's the whole principle of the shit. I don't care if I destroyed my relationship with my family. If they cannot see the fact that there's a problem and has to be dealt with, reasoning together, open your eyes, open your mind. Make choices that cause healing. Make choices that bring solutions to the problem. But no, since their religion, their lies, their own personal sin, and their inability to not judge someone, which is a byproduct of Western Christian bullshit, I probably will never talk to them again. And it's okay. I'm going to end up loving them, forgiving them, and saying, fuck it. I can't deal with it. I'm not going to fight face to face or be accused to bring a reaction where I take something like this and kill someone with it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take the high ground. I'm going to choose a battle that I can fight. Mine. Me. Living my life. Liz or Martin, you want me? Open your mind, girl. Don't ever say that shit again. Don't ever. You want me? You take me as I am, and you deal with this shit. So we can come together and be an example. Because our success can be the deliverance of the Philippines. 1 leads to 10, to 100. If we can change the mindset of people, if we could make people love and live and change enough to be real and produce, to be vibrant, to have social fidelity and clear their life, my story doesn't mean shit if I don't have a life. If I don't have peace, if I don't have purpose, if I don't have the clarity, the social fidelity to be with others like me, to lead the way for a new existence, an immortal ideology that says we can do things without harming each other. We can travel like a herd and not leave destruction behind us. We can interact with the unknown, with the marvelous mystery of wonderment. You are a failure if you're living again, with the same system of life you were born into. You're a failure. And you are slowly becoming the reason people die. You are slowly becoming, credibly, the reason people die. Because conscious awareness, herd mentalities, there's laws on the books that can charge a crowd for murder. Incitement. Radical things happening. The world has created opportunities for you to be free, profoundly, exponentially free from yourself into a life of wonderment. Or you can suffer the consequences thereof. And I'm starting to see very clearly where the New World Order police can work with people like me to eradicate all of you useless eaters. People that have no purpose but to be nobody. To not solve the problems of your life. How many of you have victims in your life? How many of you have raped, beat, stolen from your family, your friends, your wife, your daughter, your son? How many of you don't care to go back to the one that's crying and suffering because of you and fix the problem? That's most of you. At all levels, we all have broken social interaction. It's so broken that we manufacture and stage assaults against those that we victimize. Sometimes we bury him, like Cubaloy. He's got a path of dead. He's got a path of crying. Women that were raped, human trafficked. Anything you can think of that would make Cubaloy the Antichrist type he is, he's done it. It's time for us to be radically different. Like I had to do for Hefsa Badigan. Me posting her wedding photos, I'm proud of her. She deserves a man that loves her because she's a good person. When she's not lying, stealing, she's a damn good person. When she's not breaking the heart and misleading someone that wants to be with her, she's a good person. Like Lucy Ling and I. A damn good person. Hello? Yeah. Sitting here talking to you.